Jacktown. We're here. Figure probably the last Friday with no high school football. I know there's a little bit tonight. I know there's a couple jamborees tonight. Some scrimmages, whatever you want to call them. So, thought we would jump in. Man, we don't have any real direction. Just a free-for-all Friday. I got Crystal sitting here. I don't know if she's on camera or off. But she's sitting here to my left. She is definitely going to partake in the conversation tonight. Whether you can see her or not is another story. So, give me 1 second here. Let me get my stuff shared in my groups. And we will get the party started. If y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, drop it in the comments. I mean, this show is as much about y'all as it is us and our opinions. And we couldn't do anything we do without you guys. So, I'm almost there. Unfortunately, these are the things you cannot do until you go live. So, my hands are kind of tied. Crystal, you are on there a little bit. Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
I'm going to share this into Jackson Uncensored. It's been a absolute dumpster fire this week over there. If you're not a member of Jackson Uncensored, join now. Just don't report anything because why would you do that anyway? Why would you join a group to report mean things? It's Facebook, for Christ's sake. We've got a couple cool things coming up this Sunday. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'm going to sit down and do a round table conversation with Fred and Doug Shanks. Doug recently co-wrote this book here about the history of South Jackson. One Direction Home, a history of South Jackson. Y'all heard me talk about it. Can't say enough good things. Doug was once a city commissioner here in Jackson. And I honestly, I feel terrible telling y'all this, but I honestly just thought that a city commissioner was something that they had in Batman. I didn't know that Jackson actually had a city commissioner. So we're going to learn how we ended up going from having a commissioner to a city council, and a little bit of history about Jackson that, frankly, I'm going to guess a lot of us did not know about. At least I hope I'm not the only one that did not know. So, here we go.
Somebody said, "Oh, sweet doggy."
Oh yeah, man. This is our dog Birdie. She is the princess of the house. She runs it. It's her world. We're just living in it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I'm almost back to where I need to be here to get this party started. Real quick, COVID numbers are down today. I mean, I think they've been down, but I think the numbers are getting in line with what the reality is. Let's see, 599 new cases, and I don't want to say only 14 deaths, because if one of your family members is one of those 14, it ain't only. So we are definitely sympathetic to that, but fortunately, there no more than 14 deaths. That sound better? Mm-hmm. That's way better than 1,000 plus new cases and over 100 deaths. So we would definitely take that. 14 deaths is better than 15 deaths, and so on and so forth. So let's see here, real quick. They had a meeting today. The city of Jackson held a virtual town hall at 11 a.m. this morning. Unfortunately, I have a job, so I couldn't partake in it, about Lake Hyco. I'm going to dig into that. I have not had a chance to do it. I'm going to dig into that and see what the updates, if any, were on Lake Hyco. Y'all know I've been a huge, huge supporter of Lake Hyco getting back open and becoming a real economic driver for the city of Jackson. I see no reason why it shouldn't. I've heard all the downsides, and I think all that can be taken care of once you get some money over there. Well, a lot of people would love to have a house on the lake a boat on the lake, go fishing, whatever. So I think that could be huge for the city. I mean, the reservoir is a huge economic driver. Imagine if you have two bodies of water in the same city, same tri-county area. Crystal's watching the comments for us, so please, man, y'all partake. Again, it's a free-for-all. We can take this thing any direction tonight. Y'all be sure to tune in Sunday. We're going to be sitting down doing a round table with Fred and Doug Shanks. Really looking forward to that. So let's just jump in here. So we were, as far as I know, we were the first quote-unquote news outlet to discuss the Rankin County News headline from the other day when they said black protest statue in downtown Brandon. I mean, look, whether you find it offensive or not, we knew it was going to rub some people the wrong way, and it did. WLBT.com has a story up. It says, quoting here, "We are not a racist newspaper. Rankin County News apologizes after headline draws criticism." You know, I don't think anybody thought they were racist. I mean, realistically, some people may have said it, but but I do. It was just kind of like taken out of. I think it was probably a headline that almost looks like it was taken out of context. But either way, there's a story available with the editor apologizing for the story, for the headline.
Somebody's asking if the Mississippi State Fair is still planning to come.
Yeah, the fair. I actually I shared the State Fair live music schedule and everything on the Save Jackson page.
It's Miss Eileen.
Miss Eileen, they announced today, actually.
It's October 7th through, let me see.
I just shared the link to that WLBT story in the comments.
The 7th through the 18th.
Yeah, October 7th through 18th, the State Fair is going on with social distancing rules, et cetera, whatever that is. I did see, now look, man, y'all know me. You see my Poison record here? I love 80s hair metal. I also have a UGK record over there, too, so I'm quite the diverse palette of music. But, Slaughter and Great White. I had the most redneck way I've ever said the white in my life.
You've been around me.
Great White and Slaughter are playing on Tuesday. I think it's the 13th.
Mm-hmm. I think that's what you sent me.
I think it's Tuesday the 13th. Anyway, I'll confirm that. But look, man, you know me, man. I love some hair metal. Great White. The very, very first show I ever had a part of as a promoter, club owner, whatever you want to call what I did for 15, 16, 20 years. Chip Matthews, my first week in the bar business, I think brought Great White out to the Buffalo Chips Reservoir location, which is where Smith Marine was next to Shuckers. And I got to go pick up the lead singer. I was the runner for the day, and I got to pick the lead singer up from the hotel there, the Red Roof Inn, off County Line, which, my God, imagine staying there now, but this was in 98. Anyhow, so I picked him up, and he's like, "Man, I shouldn't be telling this story."
Why? I don't know the story.
Nothing bad like that, but I opened the door. First time I've got to meet like an 80s hair metal rock star. Mm-hmm. Like, they seem like such like rock gods, growing up watching MTV. I pick it up, and it's Jack Russell, who's not in the band anymore, but he's like, "Man, look, I feel rough. You know where we can get any blow?" It's like, "No, I don't know where we can get any blow." So, like, literally, could you imagine meeting somebody in the first 30 seconds? You've never seen this person in their life.
That's what they ask.
Well, imagine being him and being so comfortable in who you are to be able to ask a complete stranger, "Man, you know when he blows at?" We're not at a bar. It ain't 2 in the morning. It's 8 in the morning. But that was my introduction to that. That was good stuff. Nicholas Hawk, what's up, brother? I see you down there. Fred Shanks, what's up, brother? Hello to everybody. I'm going to try to watch the comments a little more myself tonight, too. I've got them pulled up here, but I'm kind of bouncing in and out of the screen. So, look, man, a lot going on, and Fred says docking, like rocking like docking, man. That's why I got to see them one time. No, I'll save that story for another day. Great band. They were actually really cool. Contrary to like some of the rumors and stuff about how they act and whatnot, they were really cool to us. Of course, unfortunately, George Lynch was not in the band at the time, but either way,
Tell Jennifer hello for me.
Jennifer, Crystal. Look at all these K's and C's that live in this one house are in the immediate family. Crystal says hello. Let's see here.
It's Mel's wife, Jennifer.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense now.
I was just telling her, hey.
If you grew up in South Jackson, you know Thornton's Tire and Auto used to be right down there in South Jackson, across from on the corner.
It used to be where Walgreens is now.
Yeah, well, it's not even a Walgreens anymore. It's closed. I passed by it today. I actually had to come up. I came up Terry Road all the way from 220. Fred Shanks, you'll appreciate this. The oldest house in Jackson that your dad talks about in the book. I had to get off right there, and I passed right by it and thought to myself, there's the oldest house in Jackson. Then I drove all the way up Terry Road, or I say up, more like down because I came south. Mm-hmm. Drove all the way down to Forest Hill Road. Actually, I went all the way up to Byram because I had to go to the Walgreens to get some disposable cameras for one of my daughter's birthday parties tonight. But man, what a hellhole. I always called it the bottom down there where Red Arrow and everything was, and between McDowell Road and Daniel Lake, or Cooper, or whatever you want to call it.
But if you have a problem with your car, Mel is who you want to take it to.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting a little off track here, but yeah. Jennifer there is Mel's wife. Mel Jr. has Thornton's Automotive in Byram, which was in South Jackson at a little service station for 100 years. So I get off track so easy with these things.
I have to keep him back on track.
But Brian White, what's up, man? But yeah, South Jackson has gone to hell, as a lot of y'all may know. We still love it. It will always be a part of us, whether we live here or not. But yep, Fred, right there at Alta-Woods. But yeah, man, if y'all get a chance, I filmed the ride on my dash cam tonight, because I film every inch I drive on the road in case something crazy happens. So I did film my ride all the way up Terry Road, and I may try to edit it up tonight and put it on. It won't have commentary, but if y'all just want to see it and see how sad it is, I will post it. Because 90% of the businesses from 220, not 220, I-20, all the way to Elton Road are closed, which I guess you could just say all the way to Byram. With the exception of a few things that have held on. But man, it's very depressing.
Yeah. So
let's see. I didn't have a whole lot just necessarily I wanted to jump into, man. We could talk about the Wisconsin stuff. That has almost ruined our Jackson Uncensored Facebook group this week. The stuff with the Kyle kid and the child molesters that he killed, and people taking sides. I mean, we can discuss that if y'all want to, but I've about had enough of it for 1 week personally.
Somebody's asking you, where's the oldest house in South Jackson?
Okay, so the oldest house in it's not the oldest house in South Jackson, it's the oldest house in Jackson. It's right there on Terry Road, almost under the I-20 bridge. In front of what is known as the Alta-Woods neighborhood. There's an old Catholic church there, I believe, is what it is. I've got it in my book here. It's actually chapter 1 of this book, One Direction Home, A History of South Jackson, talks about it, and that's how I learned about it. Amazing. Reading. You learn things. Crazy concept. But it's right there. It's an old white house, and let's see, it's right there. I'll pull it up and post it. I don't want to get lost in a book on a live feed, but really cool stuff, and it is still being used, I believe. So not only is it the oldest house in Jackson, they're still using it.
Nikki asked if that Waffle House over here is still boarded up.
It is still boarded up, and they painted it brown so you won't know it's a Waffle House, as if you can't look at the building and know exactly what it was. The Waffle House in Byram is still wide open. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking for a Waffle House on the south side of town, or us poor folks, we just south of I-20. We are the forgotten Jacksonians. Mm-hmm. But we go eat at the Waffle House in Byram, which I haven't eaten there since Christmas morning a few years ago. Believe it or not, me of all people, I held a church prayer breakfast at Waffle House on Christmas Sunday or Christmas morning. It wasn't a Sunday, but it was Christmas morning. 3 years ago, I held a prayer breakfast at Waffle House. Put it together, arranged the whole thing myself. And my buddy Chad Stevenson, that's on here, I believe Chad showed up. My dad, my sister, I think we drug my daughter with us, and another lady or two from church showed up. So that was pretty cool. Living the life I've lived to hosting a prayer breakfast at Waffle House is just the most fitting thing in the world.
Casey asked if there are any clubs open anymore.
So, as far as clubs being open around here, they are opening back up tonight. The bars, anyway. They have two different capacity options. It is, and I was going to go into this, but I'll just jump on into it now. Two different capacity options. You can either have 50% of your occupancy or 20 people, whichever is lower. Mm-hmm. Or whichever the highest is, 20 people or 50. So no more than 20 people indoors. So really, you're not open. But you can apply for a special permit to basically turn your parking lot into a outdoor party area. But if it rains, which is beautiful weather tonight, I mean, you couldn't ask for a nicer night. I walked out of work about 6:15 and felt a cool breeze. I actually texted some of my football buddies and was like, this is football weather. Like, it was so sad that there is no football. I mean, there's a little bit. I mean, in the counties and stuff, outside of Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to not let JPS forget that they canceled football. We're going to discuss. This is a little breaking news here. I got to get the details worked out, but on Friday nights, I think I'm going to go live and do a high school football live score show, recap kind of show. I don't want to sit here and tell y'all I'm an expert, but I follow enough experts, and I have a big enough following that I think we can have some fun doing it. We're definitely going to partake in Mississippi high school football and do kind of a statewide, where, you know, at least really focus heavy on the Tri-County area, Central Mississippi area, high school football. I think there's way too much good football being played, and I just want to remind JPS that they screwed their kids and didn't play. And we're going to throw salt on that wound every Friday night. Tear the Band-Aid off, throw some salt on it.
John Stranger says, lonely 56-year-old guy in Poplarville looking for love. I have hurricane snacks and beer.
I love that meme that says, it looks like Bart Simpson writing on the chalkboard at school and says, I will not drink my hurricane alcohol early. I will not drink my hurricane alcohol early.
Or eat your hurricane snacks.
Eat your hurricane snacks. I've seen both versions. Little breaking news here. Y'all, if y'all have the WLBT app, I'm sure y'all just got it too. The actor that played Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, has died at the age of 43. I believe that's the man that played... That it says Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman dies at 43. Honestly, I have not watched Black Panther. I've seen bits and pieces. Nothing against Black Panther. Looks like a great movie. I just hadn't watched it, but I hadn't watched any movies lately. So that's sad. That sucks. We don't want to see anybody pass away, especially at 43. I'm 43. That hits home.
Have you seen... Justin asked about the 39 kids found in Georgia.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Who says that? Justin?
Yeah, Justin Knoll.
Justin, I'm glad you brought that up. Me and Crystal were just talking about that. Yep. 39 kids have been recovered. I guess they were saying sex trade, just
trafficking.
Sex trafficking in the Georgia area. Now, I think there's a little I've read a couple different stories. I don't believe it was all at one house. I think it was...
It says 39 kids were found at a trailer.
At one trailer?
In Georgia.
How do you fit 39 anything in a trailer?
I mean, that's all I have found so far.
I mean, you could barely fit 39 beers in a trailer.
You can get a double wide.
We are... Let me see. I got Breitbart pulled up here. I know they'll have something about it. I'm kind of jumping around here tonight. Like I said, it's a free-for-all Friday. I intentionally did this with no notes tonight. We just wanted to jump in. I wanted to kind of force you guys to interact a little bit if you were going to watch tonight. Let's have some fun. No, I don't know if talking about sex trafficked children is fun, but let's have some engaging conversation. Did y'all see, while I'm looking for that, did y'all see last night, I passed out about 10:15. It's the earliest I've been asleep in over a year. My body just finally gave out. I started back in the gym this week, and it has not been going well. But so I passed out about the time the fireworks started in the Trump, in the RNC closing ceremonies last night. But
they're saying he died from colon cancer.
Died from colon cancer. I have diverticulitis, which is a version of that somewhat.
You need to keep up with it for sure. Get colonoscopies.
I don't want colonoscopies. But so I passed out about 10:15 last night, and I woke up this morning and I looked on my phone and it talked about Rand Paul being assaulted by a group of people, and then we saw all the other people that were assaulted by them people, and it. Yeah, no, I really don't want to. I love everybody that follows this page. I don't care who you vote for or whatever. Please take a lot of what I say tongue in cheek, but I saw a lot of what had to be white liberals, assaulting conservatives, verbally assaulting conservative African Americans, or even Democrat African Americans that spoke at the RNC out on the streets and stuff, and calling their wives Dan Bongino, who is an African American. They were verbally assaulting him and his wife, calling her a slut and all kind of crazy stuff. I just want y'all to think about that for a second. I told Crystal this when we were watching the news when I got in tonight. Could you imagine if, I say militia-looking guys, because all of us 40-year-old gray-beard conservatives apparently look like militia guys is kind of the look they say we all look like. Like we're just waiting for the boogaloo to pop off or something. Like, I got a job. I'm not waiting on the boogaloo. I got about 40 seconds of boogaloo in me, and I'm done. But anyway, could you imagine if conservatives had verbally assaulted AOC, Nancy Pelosi, or any host of minorities that had spoke at the DNC outside? It would have been an all-out assault on your senses today on the national media. Really, really, really sad state of affairs that people were allowed to treat people like that and with no repercussion. Like I said, we are all for protest, and we are all fighting for your right to protest peacefully. But
some people are asking where they can get the South Jackson.
Fred is in here commenting. They have it at Lemuria. Lemura.
Okay.
I can never say that right. The book's available at Lemura. Lemura. And we have posted the online ordering form. And I do still have it saved in my phone. It was one of the few things I didn't delete out recently. I will post it in the comments here. I did a PDF version of it. If y'all just stay tuned to the end of the show, and as soon as we get off the live, I will post the ordering form that you can print off and mail it in. I'm assuming that's still active. Sonny asked, did I get him a book? Sonny, I did. I did get you a book.
He did. He actually did.
I even got it signed for you to Sonny. So I bought 3 books. I got me one, I got Crystal's dad one, and I got you one.
Sonny one.
And you one. Yep. So
there you go.
I did. This is it right here. So Sonny, yours actually has a tear in the front page because it was in my backpack. I had it when you come by the dealership to get your title. I was like, well, let me have the book. I had something in my backpack that tore the cover, but it just gives it character. Now it looks like it's from South Jackson.
Sonny's a bit.
Sonny, I will be at work tomorrow if you want to swing by and pick it up if you're out and about, if you're off work tomorrow. So let's see here. Jump in these comments. I see Rashay and Ray Dowdy talking. I'm sure that's an interesting conversation. I see Life 360. That gives my daughter a panic attack every time she sees Life 360. It gives me a panic attack at this point. We have fought about it so much. So let's see. We discussed the Rankin County News paper headline. We discussed the disrespectful way. Oh, okay. Let's just jump into this. This is something I've been wanting to talk about. Let's talk about Tate Reeves here. Look, man, we give Tate a hard time because it's kind of fashionable, and he leaves himself open to a lot of stuff. I voted for Tate. I make no qualms about it. I was absolutely not voting for the other option in the general election, for Hood. But Tate has been on this face mask stuff and these executive orders and all that. And then he goes off to North Carolina the other day for a political rally. No face mask anywhere in sight. And look, y'all know how I feel about face. I have completely boycotted mine again. I have found an American-owned liquor store that I can get my wine at now that does not require me to wear a face mask inside. I'm not going to roll them under the bus and tell you who it is. But I'm all out on the face mask. I'm back off the face mask wagon. And it's just too damn hot. Anyway, and then Tate is at Trump's RNC speech last night at the White House. He posted a selfie with him and his wife on the internet, and they're both wearing their Trump face mask. Great, cool, you got it on. And then the TV catches him 10 minutes later on TV without it on. Look, man, again, I don't care, but it feels a bit hypocritical when you tell us we have to do it one way.
Right.
But you're not doing it the same way. Well,
and the fact that little kids
are having to wear them at school and crap.
All day long.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Yeah, man,
Can you imagine being a little...
I'm going to say this. I commented on a girl I know's Facebook page earlier when they were talking about the state fair happening, but they got this silly football rule with only 2 family members per player. Mm-hmm. Having been in as many Facebook groups as I'm in and everything that I see 100, get kind of thrown at me all day, I may have a different perspective than a lot of people do because I don't live in an echo chamber. I've got a bunch of different friends from every corner of life. I think what's going on with the schools and why the face masks are being pushed in the schools, I think that we have a lot of teachers that are full-blown Karens. And we're this close to a full-blown teacher boycott. Mm-hmm. And that is the state bending to the teacher's demands.
Well, Melissa says, yes, my kindergartner has to wear hers all day at school and after school. Because she has to go after school because her mother's still in work.
Yeah.
You think about how long that is in a mask.
It ain't healthy.
No. Well, not just that. I mean, it's not doable. In my opinion, for, a kindergartner.
You may be the only person, you're a registered nurse.
Yeah.
You may be the only person watching live. I don't know everybody's backgrounds. Do you think there's long-term medical drawbacks to wearing, I don't mean like the little paper, silly face shield. But if you're wearing a hot mask and you're breathing in your own breath constantly like that, because you got your nose and your mouth, if you're wearing it right.
Yeah.
And you're wearing one of these, like those face shields I wear, or you're wearing an N95 or something all day. Mm-hmm. That can't be healthy.
I don't think it's healthy, but I don't think you can, die from it.
Take the COVID out of it.
Yeah.
If you just wearing a damn mask all day, every day, mm-hmm. You're not getting any fresh air.
Yeah, that's for anybody. I mean...
you're just kind of breathing recirculated mm-hmm. air.
Right.
I mean, like, I brush my teeth and use mouthwash every morning. And
I wish I had my mask because I would put it on and show you. If you put a mask on and have like a vape or something and breathe, you can see where it goes.
Yeah.
Like with a vape or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be a vape, but you can see that your breath goes out. It goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And it may help a little bit, but it's not gonna make or break.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just take the COVID side out of the mask, and let's just talk about the mask. Yeah, this Chadwick Boseman thing is blowing all up on my phone. The Black Panther actor that, if y'all hear my phone vibrating over here, I've got a couple group texts going on, and all the news sites that I follow are just having an absolute meltdown right now. But back to the mask thing. My opinion, being I've told y'all, I tell y'all all the time.
I think it's more of a mental thing than it is.
I do have a Facebook medical license and law degree. So if I talk about it, I know what I'm talking about. I've been on Facebook for 9 years now. So I'm a 9-year, I have a PhD in Facebook law and medical. But, I kid. Not really. So anyway,
You're not going to die from wearing a mask.
But what if you do?
It's not good for you. I mean, it's not good to keep it on all the time, 24 hours a day.
Is there any benefit to riding in a car by yourself with a mask on?
No. None.
So people riding in a car by themselves are ridiculous?
Yes.
With a mask on?
Yes.
What about, I was taking Gracie to work the other day, and we were going up, what's that road that Liberty Park is on?
Old Fannin?
Old Fannin. We were going up Old Fannin, that park there on the right. Is it Freedom Park?
Freedom or Liberty Park,
Liberty or
something.
whatever it's called there. I look over, there's it's an open park, and there's a woman with the closest thing to her were the cars passing by on the road, and she's with a mask on, running with a mask on, and the little paper mask too, not even like the, like I've seen some people like professional or high tier athletes, they'll train with the mask on to get their breathing right. This lady is doing the 80-year-old lady at the Metro Center back in the day, morning power walkers.
Right.
With her little paper mask on. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that. Stop that.
Yeah, it's,
I know. It's so funny. It's so funny. But look, whatever, it wasn't bothering me. She ain't bothering nobody.
Yeah.
But you just have to think though, right? If this lady is willing to walk around the park by herself with a mask on, she's the one going full-blown Karen on you at the grocery store for not wearing yours.
I mean, I see it when you go into surgery and you have a surgical mask on. Obviously, it's a preventative, but it's still not.
Yeah.
I mean, when you breathe, it comes around your mask. I mean, it just does. I mean, it's not going to be 100%, sterile.
You think
in surgery, it's just not. I mean,
you think people that smoke are regretting smoking if they have to wear a mask all the time and kind of smell the kind of regurgitated nicotine smell or anything? I'm not asking you because you smoke. I'm just asking you. I just thought about it. Like, do you think that's like if you had to wear a mask all day every day, would you maybe take less smoke breaks?
Probably not. I'd probably take more if I had to wear it all day. Because then I'd take it off to have a break.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just curious. I thought about that. I mean, I don't smoke. Never smoked a cigarette in my life. Barely ever drank a beer. Liar. Oh. Let me see here. What was the other thing kind of concerning that same topic? All right, so people riding around in their cars by themselves, they're silly. I mean, I get it too. I mean, I wear the shield, like the kind of kind of covers your neck and your face. Looks like a turtleneck pulled up. Because I at least want to look like a badass if I'm doing it. At least in my mind, that's what a badass looks like. And I get tired of having to take it on and off. So sometimes I'll just leave it around my neck if I'm going like store to store to store for a few things. But there's just no way I'm riding in the car with it on. It's just too damn hot.
It doesn't make any sense.
And even in the coldest part of winter here, when it gets down to like 60 degrees in the middle of the day, for like more than a day in a row, I'm out. I can't do it. But I also wear shorts year round and a t-shirt year round. So I'm probably just the wrong guy for this.
I mean, what are you trying to figure out?
I don't know. All right, well, let's move on from face mask here.
It's not very preventative. I mean, it's more for show. It helps a little bit, but it's not, you know.
I saw today, transitioning. I actually heard on a podcast. I don't know if y'all. I've told y'all about Tim Pool a bunch. Check out Timcast IRL on YouTube. Timcast IRL or Tim Pool, and he was talking tonight. There's a bill about to get presented that will pull people's unemployment benefit, federal unemployment benefits, if they get arrested for violent protest rioting or whatever, and they will be fined and everything else. But they will no longer be able to draw the extra $400 or whatever the next package ends up being. They will not be able to get that money anymore. And it's just like really, wow. We're going to quit paying people to burn and loot? I'm not mad. It just feels like, wow, why didn't we think of this sooner? Now, we'll see if it passes or not. But that's very interesting. That was on a show today. Let me pull that up, and I'm going to share that because I thought it was really good. I listened to it on the way home. It's a quick, easy listen. So Jennifer says, I just got back from a football game. If this 2 people participant goes all year, some schools will probably have to cut non-revenue sports due to budget from football. Yeah, look, man, I'm going to tell you, the government is not going to be able to bail out your local high school team. It's not, like, I know, so like the SWAC, and I'm not going to get on college football long, I just want to say this. I know when the SWAC canceled and said they're going to move it to spring, which it ain't happening in the spring. I'm just telling y'all, don't make any plans to see a football game in the spring. When these schools canceled, in their minds, they're thinking, we're going to get a government bailout. And I know that Trump, wanting to bend over backwards and appease the HBCUs and whatnot, that they may, the SWAC may get it, but they shouldn't. You know, if you chose to not play out of fear, you need to figure it out on your own. Anyway, give me 1 second here. I'm pulling this up. Crystal, stay on top of the comments there. See if anything pops up here while I do this real quick.
Okay.
I am almost there. I just want to drop this in the comments here so people can check it out. I thought it was pretty interesting. Sorry, y'all. I follow so much stuff that sometimes it takes me a second to get back to what I'm looking for. All right, here it is. I'm about to drop the link in the comments. This is Jim Banks plans to strip riders of federal unemployment benefits.
Somebody said, don't forget about the Second Amendment tax-free weekend.
You know, I've seen it 100 times today, and because I wasn't planning on buying a gun this weekend, I didn't think about it, but I'm glad you brought that up. Second Amendment tax-free weekend. Look, we've got 2 people that we love on this page, two local businesses. Both of them sell guns. Both friends of mine. If you're out in the Gluckstadt area, or if you're out, it really don't matter where you're from. For a good deal and the right gun, you'll drive anywhere, right? I know I will. Go see my buddies out at Guns and Gear. Absolute great selection. Some of the coolest custom AR-15 type stuff, man. If you love that kind of stuff, they got ammunition, everything. I went out there a couple weeks ago, bought some stuff myself. Had a great time hanging out, just kind of shooting the breeze, talking life, politics, guns, the whole 9 yards. And then right here in Jackson, right at the McDowell Road exit, stopped by and see my good friend Nick Fulton at USA Pawn Superstore. Mm-hmm. They do sell guns and ammunition at the USA Pawn Superstore right there at the McDowell Road exit. They've got security there. You're very safe getting in and out of there. Your car's safe. Look, you forget you're in South Jackson right there. That store is awesome. I saw Nick on the news the other night. So go by and see Nick and the crew at USA Pawn this weekend. And go by and see Hunter and his team out at Guns and Gear.
I think this is about football, but Ed said, would that statement hold true for all divisions, Clay?
Oh, talking about the... we're talking about would that statement hold true? Are we talking about the bailout concept? Look, this is just my opinion here, and I only speak for myself, and I do not give money to any school. I'm a Mississippi State fan. I buy stuff here and there, but I've never donated to anything like that. But if Mississippi State, Ole Miss, the SEC, if they decide not to play, they do not need to be bailed out at all. I stand by that. I believe that you have to earn. Mm-hmm. We all take our lumps. I'm very public about my lumps. Nobody bailed me out. I dealt with bankruptcies, dealt with all kind of personal stuff. I think you learn from your mistakes. If you cannot afford to do something, you don't do it. I think college sports needs a huge reset, financial reset anyway. I don't have any problem, paying a coach $5, $6, $7 million a year if that coach relatively speaking is worth it. If he generates that kind of revenue for your team, but just a lot of the spending going on in college sports, not just football, but college sports just seems crazy to me. Yeah. We need to let these be. I know they're changing the image and likeness, or likeness and image, or whatever it's called for the athletes, where they can actually legally make money now. Yeah. Should have been done.
He said just wanted clarity on that.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad you asked. I was only speaking about the SWAC in particular because they're local and we're not playing, but that goes for any of them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The Big Ten, Pac-10, other ones that aren't playing. I hate the Big Ten and Pac-10. I've got some friends of mine that are Ohio State fans. I love them to death. But of course, school like Ohio State, they've got one of the biggest budgets in all of college. They'll be okay. But I just, they don't need a bailout, and I hope we don't give it to them. if you think about this, man, if you give college football teams a bailout, and you got all these mom and pop, these businesses going out of business, especially the restaurant, the service industry, my God, it may be the absolute mutiny in the streets. You may see Karen and Kyle go buck in every neighborhood if their local restaurant, bakery, whatever goes out of business, but they give the local college football team a bailout.
Yeah.
Look at New York.
People say I agree with you on the bailout. They don't deserve it unless they work for it.
Yeah. Think about this. I saw the other day where in New York, as much hell as we give Tate here, well, we're very lucky to have a conservative governor in this sense. I don't care what side of the coin you fall on. Surely you agree with this. In New York, the mayor there, mm-hmm. and I know I said governor, but you know what I mean. So the mayor there in New York City is saying that they might not allow dining in restaurants until 2021. And there are some restaurants now that are able to do the outside dining, but in New York, you know how cold it gets up there in snow. That's not going to be an option for any of them mm-hmm. here in about a month or so, because it starts getting cool up there way quicker than down here. So just figure by November, late October, November, you're not going to be able to, for the most part, sit outside and eat.
Have you ever talked about when we got married and how all this stuff just started right after?
We will.
It's been crazy.
We will. So the restaurant industry up there in New York is going to be crippled. You're seeing it down here too. Yeah. The bar industry. What they're doing to my friends over at Pops and places like that is just an absolute insane. But so you just pick and choose what kind of businesses can open. And I know I've railed on that because we have an idiot mayor here Speaking of which, he signed a $40 million infrastructure funding deal today. I have not had a chance to look into it. I'm just going to tell y'all straight up, I smell bullshit. I do not think we'll be getting $40 million in infrastructure. I have no clue. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to by the end of the weekend, and I'm going to have y'all a full report on the Chalkways $40 million infrastructure deal by the end of the weekend. I see Gabe says he got a new food truck rolling. Look, man, I've got several friends who have jumped into the food truck game. I told a buddy of mine that I work with, he was looking for a food truck back in March. I said, man, if you'll wait a month or so, there's going to be some people that don't know how to, there's going to be some really rigid people that don't know how to transition, and they're going to have to jump out of it because they're just living too hand to mouth. And you'll be able to find you a food truck for the Lolo. Well, he waited about 2 months, and I think since June he's bought 2 food trucks, and he got them for the Lolo because there's just some people who didn't, they were living too hand to mouth, and they weren't able to transition and figure it out. Some people just ain't quite got that hustle.
You think for an older lady, a 30, I said a 38 special would be a good gun.
A 38 special. I've got a 40 cal. Crystal's got a 45.
Yeah.
A 45. A 9. You just want something light. My 40 is actually kind of a heavier 40. My Springfield XD. You got a Glock, don't you?
Yes.
Yours is a Glock.
Yes.
Yours is really light. You're 45.
Mm-hmm.
A Glock 9 is a really light gun. Some people may jump out of the comments and want to kick me in the ankle for saying this, but I love having a little 380.
My grandmother had a 38. That's why I always tell people.
Well, Dad's got a snub nose 38 special, and I mean, great little gun. I actually bought him a box of ammo from Guns and Gear the other day when I was out that way. And
but people that always ask me that don't really.
Yeah, I mean,
a 38's probably pretty.
A revolver.
A lot of kick or.
Yeah, revolver's a great little gun. You can't go wrong. But I like something with a clip because I like to have, a magazine. I know some purists out there will hate me for calling it a clip. Mm-hmm. A magazine with a few more rounds in it. Yeah. But Van says a Glock 43. I mean, look, one thing I can assure you, this group here, they know their guns. So check the comments out. But look, go see the crew at USA Pawn. They know what they're talking about. Go see my friends out at Guns and Gear. These are people who can lead you in the right direction and get you a gun that fits your needs. Mm-hmm. And you have these indoor gun ranges now. 2-Gun Tactical, Primos, and 2-Gun Tactical there in what is that, Flowwood technically, or is it Pearl? Flowwood Drive there.
I think it's Flowwood, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Indoor shooting range. You can test these guns out to the best of my knowledge. You can test them before you buy them. Even if you don't want to buy them from them, go test one out and go buy it from somewhere else. Go buy it from one of the people we're sending you to. Jimmy Primo, I think is his name, just opened up the big indoor range out there at the Gluckstadt exit. So our options are opening up around here, which seems crazy. I mean, as gun crazy as Mississippi is, to just now be getting indoor shooting ranges here seems wild.
Yeah.
You can step in for a second if you want to. I've got one of my daughters wants to jump in and make her debut. This is here's the camera. We're on the iPad.
Am I in it? Am I in it?
This one's a little behind. This is my daughter, Kylie.
Am I in it?
Yeah, just say hi.
Just say hi.
Hey, guys.
You'll show up in a second.
They're having a party here tonight, so they're a little excited.
Yeah. Do y'all like my hat?
It's amazing.
I made it.
Custom made.
I made it.
There you are.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to meet you guys.
Thank y'all. Kylie,
My name's
y'all have
Kylie.
fun. We love you.
Love you.
So y'all see I have my hands full.
Are y'all going out to the pool?
I'm not swimming. We're just sitting out there.
All right. Have fun.
More people are about to come.
Yay.
Okay.
Yay.
Please don't stand in the kitchen like you did last time. Just stay away, in here.
I'm going to stand in the kitchen and stare out the window.
Just don't come outside.
I'm going to let him take his shirt off, too.
Oh, goodness.
I told y'all it was a free-for-all Friday. So there's that. I got told to stay in the house. You know, life comes at you fast, doesn't it?
Don't stand in the kitchen like you did last time.
One day you're out at the pool with your kid and it's Daddy watch, Daddy watch, Daddy watch. The next you blink and it's Daddy don't even stand in the kitchen. Don't come outside.
Because you're in the window.
Yeah.
Crap.
So that's good times there. Let's see, man. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about. We talked about high school football. We talked about mask. I'm going to remind everybody again. We're going to Sunday. I'm going to be out in Brandon broadcasting live with Fred and Doug Shanks. We're going to be talking about everything old school Jackson politics. Really dive into the lost history of Jackson politics. And like, I'm 43, and I feel like there's a lot of people, and I could be dead wrong on this. I feel like there's a lot of people my age and younger who just don't know about the history of like the Jackson politics, you know, and kind of how we got to where we're at and how it used to be and this, that, and the other. You know, when things are going great, nobody's paying attention. But when they go to hell, you start saying, how did we get here? And I'm going to start diving into, you know, going back to 88, 89, you know, figuring out, you know, the late 70s, figuring out how we got to this point. Past some of the obvious stuff. What are the little things that went wrong that, you know, you look back in hindsight and like, ugh, you know, what did we do that we could have done differently? So start trying to do some cool stuff here, I hope.
Lisa said, no wonder Clay has so many guns. He has a house full of gorgeous ladies.
That is a big reason I have the guns, is the house full of women.
Somebody said get cameras and put them everywhere.
Oh, yeah, look. We have done that. We have cameras everywhere. I'm not going to say where. We have them everywhere. We do have some stalkers, crazy enough.
Yeah.
And not even the girls. It's because of me. And it's trickled into some of our personal lives. So we have cameras everywhere. It's a shame that this page has got people that in their feelings that they feel the need to do crazy stuff. But as life goes, you know, I feel like I just want to say that's probably a mistake they don't want to make. But to each their own. You know, sometimes I wish I lived in Rankin County. I'd feel more comfortable saying that. But in Jackson, it'd probably be used against me in a court of law at a later date. Let's see. How long have we been on? 53 minutes. I'm not going to keep y'all long. We'll probably stay on another 7 or 8 minutes here. Figure an hour.
Somebody said, opinion on MSU protesting practice.
So, you know, MSU did it. Y'all know I'm a state fan. Ole Miss did it. MSU did it yesterday. Ole Miss did it today. Look, I don't like using your platform when it takes away from your platform. Like, if you're an athlete, your platform is playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your most powerful tool is playing. It was the same with the NBA. I was like, you know, if you quit, you lose your platform. Mm-hmm. If you choose not to play, you lose your platform. I don't like it because I think, in my opinion, it's a media-driven issue, not a reality-driven issue. We know there's bad cops. We know there's bad people. I don't think there's nearly as many. We dove deep into these numbers the other night on Wednesday night show. I don't like it. I like people's right to protest, but I think boycotting what you do for a living to protest is probably not a good idea. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, I don't care what NFL players and professional athletes do on their personal social media in their personal time. When you bring it to work, it's a bad idea. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very outspoken and opinionated, obviously. But when I get to work, I check that at the door. You know, first off, just having an opinion about local politics, I don't think makes you a bad person. You know, saying that Jackson's in bad shape is not a bad thing. I mean, it rubs some people the wrong way because I can be I can be kind of an asshole sometimes about it. But at the end of the day, I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious. I'm telling y'all, water's wet and the sky's blue.
Van says if they are on scholarship, they get sent home.
And they should. I mean, if you're on scholarship and you choose not to do what you're on scholarship to do, I don't think you should be on scholarship anymore. But I know that's a slippery slope because these coaches get paid millions and millions of dollars to win football games. And if your best players, who are typically your scholarship players, get sent home and you cut their scholarship, then they're free to go to the competing school. And I mean, at some point, you got to decide. You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. Do you keep bending the knee to people and their social justice narratives, or do you say screw you? We're gonna stand. We're gonna go 0-12, but we're gonna prove our point. You just because there's always gonna be that team. Like your Alabamas of the world, and your Ohio States of the world, and wherever. I'm just using them as an example because they win a lot. That'll say, well, we'll look the other way. I mean, winning's more important than morals. It definitely is in a lot of the SEC teams. So.
Mandy says, my opinion, politics has no place on the field. There are 24 hours in a day. Protest on your own time. Not my dime. They are on scholarships. They're paid by donors. I have every right to say that because I'm the top 3% of donors at state. That's not what I donate
for them to do. Yeah, Mandy's great. She's been a great follower, great friend. I agree. And look, okay, so double-sided blade here is we as conservatives, let's just call it like it is. As conservatives, we get really tired of having the other agenda shoved down our throats. Mm-hmm. It's like it's exhausting. And once in a blue moon, when somebody actually lines up with our political beliefs, we typically are like, yeah, finally somebody agrees with us. But we end up sounding like hypocrites because we're like, don't shut up and dribble as long as you agree with me. Mm-hmm. So I try to remind myself of that, whether it's in music, sports, whatever. I wish they wouldn't do any of it, so it's try to remind yourself of that, even if they are agreeing with it. Like if a football player rolled out there with a MAGA shirt on, a Trump shirt, deep down I'd be like, yeah, I like that, but I can't sit there and tell the other kid to shut up, and get behind that kid. I don't think they should take their political stuff on the field. And I mean, I know they technically didn't take it on the field; they took it off, but they canceled a practice to do it. It's like Colin Hill got on social media today, the Mississippi State running back. He's been, he played a very pivotal part in getting the state flag changed and expediting that process. And a buddy of mine sent me the screenshot, and he was like, I wish he would just shut up and play. And I'm like, man, I don't care what he does on his social media. That is when they talk about using their platform, that is their platform, is their personal space. Mm-hmm. But use that. Just don't do it on the field. I mean, we all know that there's things we can't do at our jobs. Like if you walked in and did certain things at your job, you would know damn well that you may probably not going to have that job shortly thereafter. Yeah. So I don't know. But y'all know me. Y'all know how against I am on anything cancel culture. I think you should be able to say just about whatever you want on social media, barring extremely racist stuff. That there's no gray area either that is racist. I don't agree with that at all, and I don't agree with physically threatening anybody.
Did you see what
sexual harassment, anything like that? Do I know?
Did you see what Ed said? He said, I wish they would come home and play locally anyway. The money would follow them. Look. Just my opinion.
Yeah, Ed, I don't know how long you've been following the page and if you know my story or not. My dad owned a store on Lynch Street for 40. He was in the family for about 50 years. He ran it for 30 or so, all the way up through to the late 90s. And was there through the Walter Payton era. And so many other greats that played at Jackson State and had the pleasure of getting to know Walter Payton when I was a kid, or Eddie Payton, Walter's son that was the running back at Miami when they lived up here. So I hate seeing all the great athletes that would have gone to Jackson State, going off to the bigger colleges. I mean, I think it would be great to see them stay at home. Look, I'm a Mississippi State fan. I'm a college football fan, but I'm a Jacksonian before I'm any of that stuff, man. I would love to see the whole community, not just the black community, get behind Jackson State and then sell out the vet every Saturday. I mean, I think it would be awesome. I mean, what bad could come from that? Nothing. I got mine pulled up here.
Oh, you see what Ed said?
I don't know. I mean, we'll agree to disagree. On all sports doing their part. I don't know what it is what are sports doing to help. I think they're driving a division. But it depends on what side of the coin you fall on.
I don't think sports have anything to do with politics.
I don't either.
That's my opinion.
I'm all for people being more socially aware. I mean, a lot of people on the conservative side hate what LeBron James gets on there and does. If he's passionate about what he does, by all means, do it. Use your platform for that. I think it's great. Whatever it is you believe in, do it. I just don't think that canceling games and walking off from your commitments is the way to do it. I don't think it sets a good example that throwing a big enough hissy fit helps you get your way.
Politics has nothing to do with nursing. You never ask that when you take care of somebody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It never matters.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, Ed, I really appreciate you jumping in there, man. I see you say you have a son at State and one at Ole Miss, man. That's great. It's an amazing feeling to get a kid into college. So, congratulations on getting two into the two of the best schools in the state. That's awesome. That's got to be a proud papa moment.
That is awesome.
I got a daughter into Holmes. It might as well be Harvard.
We're very proud of her.
Very proud of my little JUCO daughter, the one y'all met a minute ago. So, look, I mean, it is just getting through high school is not. It is so hard, The old saying, man, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise. Ed, one on the streets, man. Absolutely, brother. Look, it takes a village to raise a kid or two or three now. I mean, they have so much coming at them from so many more directions than we did. Like we didn't have social media and all that. We just, I guess every generation does. There's always something new. I mean, our parents probably said, the TVs and stuff made it, cable made it hard for them. So it just depends on your age group and where you came up. But, our grandparents probably like, that rock and roll, it's really ruining those kids now, So.
My grandmother thought KISS meant kids in Satan's service.
Knights in Satan's service.
She said kids.
Kids.
I was like, no.
Ed, do any of your kids play ball, man? You've got them all into college, man. 5 sons. I see some gray in your beard, Ed. How do you not have more? You got less gray than I do, and you got 5 boys. That's the difference in having a couple girls and a couple boys.
We have a bunch of girls.
Congratulations, man! Very, very, very proud of you. I don't know you, brother, but I'm just getting 5 into school, brother. Mm-hmm. Kudos, my friend. Kudos. Daryl, what's up, brother? Yeah, Brad brings up an interesting point here, and I think it's how a lot of people feel. It's like, man, it may sound selfish, but not politics. Sports is supposed to be a break from reality. I mean, I want my politics from my politics.
It's part of entertainment.
Yeah,
sports is part of entertainment, especially when you do it at a certain level.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's entertainment. At the end of the day, it's entertainment, and it's just like, man, can I just be entertained a little? I mean, does that sound selfish?
I just get away and watch my game and
I mean, sports is one of the few things that really brings everybody together, no matter what your economic and racial and religious backgrounds are. If you're sitting next to somebody in the stadium and your team scores, it doesn't matter how different y'all are. Mm-hmm. How much y'all would fight on Facebook and any other walk of life, who you voted for, nothing. I'm high-fiving them and...
Because your team just scored.
Yeah, it's just like, it's supposed to be something that brings us together. You know, not half the stadium kneeling, half standing, creating a division. I mean, it's the freedom that we have as Americans. I hope we never lose it. But, man, I would just like to be able to...
it's not needed.
I'd like to get in that bubble and kind of, like, let me get into this little bubble over here for a few hours and kind of block everything out. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, brother. I am, too. It is... Yes, one at EC playing basketball. That's cool, man. That's cool. Basketball is believe it or not, I actually won a basketball defensive player of the year award in the YMCA league when I was a kid.
Go get your trophy. I'll hold everybody while you.
I still got it. It's in there in the office. You know. Look, man. Lisa says she's glad NASCAR started racing. Look, I love car racing. I'm a car guy. Cars are the automotive stuff is probably one of my top 3, 4 favorite things in life is just being a car guy, truck guy, whatever you want to call it. But so I'm all for the NASCAR stuff or any race, and I've watched more stuff this year car related than I have in years, just because lack of other options. But hopefully football gets started and we're all in there. Speaking of car stuff, did y'all the big Scarecrow car show got canceled this year? The big one they do in Madison. It will not be happening in 2020. It's usually in October, a la Scarecrow around Halloween. Mm-hmm. They are planning on it full systems go in 2021. So we'll see what happens there. That is a big deal. You may not be into cars, but that is a big economic driver up there. You get 20,000 some odd people to come through Madison, little downtown Madison for a 2-day car show, or I think it's a 2-day deal. Maybe it's been 1 day. Anyway, it's a big deal. So make no mistake about it. Let's see here, man. I'm gonna run through the local news one more time, just make sure there's nothing we're missing that we want to talk about.
Somebody asked, Nikki asked, if you ever go to the Byram dirt track.
Yeah, what's so weird is I've lived in South Jackson my whole life for the most part, and I have never been to Jack's track. Well, growing up we called it Jack's Tracks. No, I've never been to the dirt track. I talk about going all the time. You can hear it so well from my house that it's like being there. I've been to the drag strip a bunch, and every Tuesday night, hey, there's something else that is going on. This is not a paid ad. None of the stuff we talk about on here is paid. This is just us shouting out stuff going on. The Byram drag strip, I guess it's called Jackson Dragway. Every Tuesday night, it's Run What You Brung street racing, and it is packed. We're eventually going to get out there and go. It's just been too damn hot. But if you're looking for something to do outdoors, if you're bored on a Tuesday, man, it is packed out there. A bunch of guys I work with in the shop are out there racing every Tuesday. I mean, it's good times. We have a great time. I ain't been in a while, but it's packed. Looks like today, I'll make sure I'm right on this.
Is the one you're talking about called Cruising the Coast?
No, it's called Scarecrow Car Show.
Okay.
It's in Madison. There is a Cruising the Coast. It's in October also.
Is it still on?
I don't know if Cruising the Coast is on or not. I'm sure it is. So today, 65 years ago today, Emmett Till was killed in Money, Mississippi. So today is the anniversary of that. I feel like that's definitely worth mentioning. We all know the story of Emmett Till. I don't have to dive into it here. WLBT has got a story up. I'm going to copy the link and post it in here just in case you have not seen it. They are saying that Cruising the Coast is still on in the comments. So that'll be cool. Scraping the Coast. My daughter went to Scraping the Coast for the first time this year. And that was the one I grew up going to. I was always more into the mini truck scene, the lowrider scene, stuff like that. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything else here. We ain't going to go too long tonight. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, I just didn't have a whole lot of stuff. I just felt like railing on tonight. It's been so much animosity all week with everybody. I just didn't feel like getting on here and doing that tonight.
Which racetrack did my grandfather do?
Your grandfather raced at the Jackson International Raceway, which was the one in Clinton. Okay. It was the fastest half-mile track in the world for like 7 straight years. Well, the record was set, and for 7 years, Jackson International Raceway, it was our only like NASCAR track. It was that record was not broken for 7 more years.
We'll have to go look that.
Yeah, we've got a video of that on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So if we got the drone out there before the FAA shut me down. FFA, is it Federal Aviation Administration? Yeah, so FAA.
Send Michael out there.
Yeah, we do have a backup for drone stuff now because I cannot afford to get in trouble with the FAA, and I have no time to go get a drone license and all that nonsense. But we have been if you're not following us on YouTube, you should be. We've got some cool stuff out there. I'm going to post the link to this video of Jackson International Speedway. It's got a little bit of the history of it, and it's got my drone stuff. Here it is. Follow us on YouTube. It's just Save Jackson. Everything we do is Save Jackson across the board. Hey, Ed, man, we appreciate it, dude. Look, man, we get into all kind of stuff. There's some days you'll want to reach to the screen and punch me. There's some days you'll want to reach to the screen and high-five me. I'm all over the place, but we really do appreciate you tuning in, brother. Van, I have the same one, the Mavic Mini, and I still had to spend 3 hours on the phone with the FAA because apparently what we do is not considered a hobbyist, even though I've never made a penny for doing it. I would definitely say it's a hobby. All of this is a hobby.
Somebody said could always use a kite with
a GoPro. No kidding. There's got to be a better way. But well, I'm not gonna sell the drone. I was gonna sell it. I'm like, well, let's just hold on and see how it all shakes out. We may not have a government in place in a few months. Mm-hmm. The things keep going the way they're going. I might need the drone for surveillance, not hobbyist.
Who knows?
Yeah. Good Lord. Had to rename Fort Jackson around here if it keeps going the way it's going. Oh, hey, Ed, one thing here, brother, it is always going to be real, for better or worse. Man, we really try to keep it real around here, man. And it may change from time to time. I reserve the right to change my mind on stuff, and I'm never afraid to tell you when I was wrong about something.
Yeah.
Well, look, we're gonna sign off. The daughters, it's my oldest daughter. It's her 21st birthday tonight. Well, it was Wednesday night, but they're having a party here at the house. They're actually hosting a bunch of kids. I call them kids. Basically, we have to make sure that things aren't going on that don't need to be.
They're young adults.
So I'm going to go spy on them. I may get the drone up for this, and y'all say a prayer for us tonight. And we may get back on tomorrow night. I don't know, just to see how it all shakes out. But we will definitely be back. Definitely be back on Sunday with the Shanks boys, Doug and Fred, and discussing just old school Jackson politics and some cool presidential history that I didn't know about Mississippi, and all kind of stuff. So
yeah,
y'all take care. Have a blessed one. Peace.